What is going on, guys? What is up? What is up? Let's lower this starting music and let's go ahead and enter. Here we go. All right, so we got CR 1987. CR 1987 here saying that there's nothing much to talk about. I disagree. I think there's some stuff that we could talk about. The only thing is the stuff we're going to talk about is pretty rough. It's pretty rough stuff. Let's say that. Remember, guys, I'm always doing the monthly wrap-ups regardless of what ESBC themselves put out. You know, it's a conversation of the past month. Doesn't mean that a trailer needs to come out or anything special from ESBC. With that said, though, we have had some stuff that came out that was just super rough, like super rough stuff, like the John O'Carroll image, for example, the leak of Terrence Crawford with the Jaime Munguia footage, and also something nice that came out recently with the Kenny Bayless video. So we're gonna look at all of those things, but of course, I want to talk to you guys. If we had to say which was the roughest month ever, do you guys think June was probably the roughest month? I would say that it's up there with like months where we don't get anything. You know, there was that time when we had gotten that trailer where the punches were still looking a little bit weird, that, you know, still needed work earlier on during the first fighter reveal, I believe. And that was crazy. Would you guys say that June is probably the roughest month? Because it's not like we didn't get anything. We got stuff, but the stuff we got were just not good. Like, it wasn't good at all. So I'm actually kind of curious to know what you guys think about the month yourselves. Jay Shep, I would rather get nothing than get bad releases. All right, so I'm guessing you're gonna say that this is the roughest month. I'm guessing you're on this is the roughest month boat in terms of what's the toughest month for ESBC so far. And what's up, Jay Shep? Thank you for coming into the chat, by the way. Thank you. Let me see if I can pull it up. I need to be able to pull it up here. Let me just make sure I can pull up my stream on here so I can see. Why is everything in like italics? That's weird. All right, we got 90 people in here. 90 people with only 24 likes. I don't know, man. I don't like that. 90 people, 24 likes, bro. We need to get the likes up. Let's get the likes up to at least 50, man. We got 95 people watching right now. 95 people watching. All right, let's make sure we get that live. Okay, so I got you guys on this screen just in case anything happens. I could go ahead and fix it and I can see what you guys are seeing. Do you think the game will come out? This is just Emmanuel. Yes, I 100% believe the game will come out. I have no doubt that the game... no doubt, man. You know I'm coming through. Of course, Jay Shep. I have no doubt that the game will come out. I've played it at the creator event. I had a blast playing it at the creator event. Other content creators have played the game. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to come out. The question isn't really so much, is it going to come out? It's when is it going to come out? And we don't really know. We don't know where the state of the game is, how far along they are. We really just don't know the minutia of what they need to do to get that game out. One cool thing is that we've at least have online being attached to early access. And I know early access is like a bummer for a lot of people. I know that it's a bummer for a lot of people. Trust me. Like I would prefer it comes out for everyone at all times, like at the same time. That way we could all play with each other. You know, the user base is going to be high. Online games, we're going to get a better understanding of who's really like the best at that time or whatever. So I get that, but at least they're putting online into early access. I think that is a great feature, probably the most important feature to have if you think about it when it comes to something where it's not fully released and it has to hold over until the full release, and we don't know when that is. I'm still sticking with my prediction of early December, and I'm hoping that that's where it lands. Obviously, if it comes earlier, please, thank you, I'll take it. If it comes later and if it gets pushed into the next year, that's gonna be rough. that's gonna be rough. All right, let's see what you guys got to say. We're gonna talk a little bit. Turn down the music. Got you, brother. Let me turn it down real quick. Hold on, let me turn it down real quick. Should be better, right? Music should be better, right there. Let me know, guys. Let me know if it sounds better. He's listed in that large scroll. Official tone. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, A Smooth, what's good, brother? This guy's been here since day one, man. He one of the day ones. It was good. I'm probably gonna say that around August Gamescom month, they will drop a bombshell. Let's see, man. If they do, ain't nobody gonna be mad. Ain't nobody gonna be mad, man. I'll take it. Okay, let me see what's this guy saying right here. Gary, he said, "What's your biggest concern about the game right now?" I'm hoping that they fix the sounds of the punches. I'm hoping that they make the punches feel like they have more pop. I don't know exactly what needs to be done for that to be completed at the best. Maybe if they sped up the punches a little bit, maybe if they corrected the sound. I have a video where I think like I put out my fix, right? I'm not a programmer and I don't even know if this would fix the problem, but I put out my fix and there's certain things that I don't want them to go into, right? Like when people compare it to Fight Night Champion. With Fight Night Champion, there's certain things that happen that create a more devastating kind of feel, right? For example, the punch sounds are incredibly over-exaggerated, almost like a car door slamming. It's very, very loud, but it's not indicative of like a real punch in boxing. But that adds to the element of like, oh my gosh. And then there's also that thing where the person and the opponent and the fighter, they're trapped in an animation string where you can't escape it after a certain, if you're within the trajectory of the punch after a few frames, after around 16 frames. So it could create a situation where the person is reacting much more like organically to the punch, but I don't want them to do something like that. So I'm hoping that they could do other things around that and still keep that freedom, that physics where anything could happen at any time kind of thing. I'm hoping that they keep that. But I think once they get the punches and maybe the sound correctly and maybe speed up the punches a little bit, I think the game will look very, very good. I think it'll look very, very good. It plays really like that's the thing that I can't wait till you guys play it, because you can be tactical, you can be smart, you can do different things. You could, control distance very well. You could be like, you could pop them with a jab and move out the way. Like it's very good. But what they've shown us recently, for example, that gameplay trailer with people throwing hooks, it's not one of those things where it's representing how the game could be played if someone played it like they were boxing, right? But that is indicative of how the game will be played if people want to just, throw hooks and stuff, and that's going to happen. It happens even in Fight Night, One thing I will say, though, is that a lot of people say, hey, don't compare ESBC to Fight Night. It's not fair. Fight Night is an old game. But on the flip side, if you think about it, comparing alpha footage, like they're constantly improving the game. Like look at the game when it was in the loose footwork and how those punches look like. Comparing alpha footage to a completed game is also in the reverse an unfair proposition if you think about it. So either way, it's the same thing. Fanatico, how you feel that George Kambosos Jr. is not in the game? George Kambosos is in the game. He was revealed in one of the fighter reveals. I believe he was revealed in like Fighter Reveal 1 or Fighter Reveal 2, if I'm not mistaken. One of those two. What fighters do you want added? I want Andre Ward. I would love to have an Andre Ward in the game. I would love to have, the Manny Pacquiao's. I want Manny Pacquiao as well. I want Floyd Mayweather in the game. How possible is it to have these guys to be in the game? I don't know. I know with Andre Ward, personally, just for me, just for my own thing, the only other person I would want is Andre Ward. But when I tweeted him once, and he actually quote tweeted and said that he didn't want to be, or it didn't make sense for him or whatever, or something to that effect. But I would have to have him. Yeah, and of course, all of the guys from 135. So I see Official Tone said we need Tank. Yes, Tank. Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. We got Lomachenko, which is great. But I would love to have all those guys, Devin Haney, for example, all those guys be in the game. We got 100 viewers here and we got up to 52 likes. Thank you so much. That's a 50% like ratio. Thank you so much, guys, for that. Get the likes up even higher if you can. If you haven't hit the like, just go ahead and hit the like right now. And also hit subscribe if you haven't, because you know that this is going to be one of the channels that's always going to be behind ESBC content. Let's hope and pray that June comes with something good. Like we get maybe more reveals or something, or a gameplay trailer. I definitely hope that they get a gameplay trailer out. In July or soon, so that they could clean up all the stuff that we've recently seen. Because everybody loved the February trailer, and that was great as a memory, and then it kind of got chopped up with all these other things, the leak footage and stuff like that. So, what do you think my career will be like? I don't know. I'm hoping it's close to how Boxers Road 2 is. If you haven't seen that game, go ahead and check out the game that I have a bunch of videos on Boxers Road 2. Check it out. You gotta make weight, and they talked about that. So I'm figuring that they're kind of leaning towards that kind of style. But you gotta make weight, you gotta eat food, you gotta do all these things. And it's really cool. You could go for the undisputed title. You could try to rank up in each of the thing. And they have a lot of the sanctioning bodies and the major titles, like the WBC, for example, who's a major partner with them. Would I like an ultimate team? I don't know. I never actually got into those ultimate team things. Like those things were never interesting to me. But I don't know. Then again, I mean, with Fight Night, for example, 98% of my gameplay on Fight Night was just online. So I'm probably not the best person, because it was just online and just competition. It was never trying to get something or whatever. It was always just online competition. That's it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Thank you for answering. Big fan. This is Ben Chaplin. I personally want Adam and Hassan Azim added. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Prince Nassim Hamed? Is that what you're talking about? Added. They're huge. Oh, no. You're talking about something else. Adam and Hassan Azim, prospects from the UK. Okay. All right. All I want is the release date or early access window. I don't want any more windows, bro. I'm going to be real honest with you guys. Cut windows. I don't want to know that it's gonna come out for the summer. I don't want to know that it's gonna come out Q1. I want the date, which is what they promise. Whenever they're gonna say it, they're not gonna say no window. They're not gonna say no Q1, Q2, Q3. When if you see snow coming down, we might know. They're gonna give us a date. a date. And that's what I'm hoping we get, a date. Just a straight up, it's coming out, whatever, November 15. Like, I want a straight up date. But my prediction is early December, by the way. Fanatico, I just looked at the ESBC roster website and he's not on there. I don't, like, if you go on the roster website, I don't think it's like automatically has everybody in there. I'm pretty sure if you go and watch the, what was it? If you go and watch the, I think it's the Fighter Reveal 1. If not, it's Fighter Reveal 2 for sure. You'll see George Kambosos Jr. I know I'm not bugging. He's definitely in the game. Ben P, yo, Ed, love the channel, love the content. Honestly, the ESBC content and the boxing content in general is top class. Love from the UK. Thank you, Ben. Much appreciated. Yes, he's in there. Yeah, he is. Ash about to have people ready to square up if we don't get an early access date by the end of the year. Man, if they don't give us something, an early access date by the end of the year, like, there is one thing that'll come out next year, but if we don't get a date by the end of the year, oh man, would that suck? Oh man. So this month was rough. Let's go and look at how rough was this month. Because it was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was pretty rough. All right, so let's pull out something here. Let me see. I hope Shakur Stevenson has signature movement. You and me both, man. That's my favorite fighter. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and let's pull this up here real quick. Let me just get right here. Let's look at the first rough thing. Let's look at the first rough thing, right, that everybody was talking about. This caused a lot of controversy. There were some people, that was saying that, a lot of the content creators were defending this. But if you actually, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it real quick. The John O'Carroll photo. Now, if there's any misconception out there that I was defending this photo, then you're mistaken. I wasn't defending this photo in any way, shape, or form. I said, if you watch the video, I mean, sometimes people just look at the title, and if the title isn't showing that, you're negative about it from the title, from the whole premise of your video, then you're creating excuses. But in reality, we've seen their models, and we know their models are good. My thing was not that this photo was good. I said this photo was bad. It looked like it created character, and it looked like it was actually me. Like I was somehow in the middle of creating myself, and I came out, and it just ended up being that they put John O'Carroll on top of my created character's name. But no, this is a bad image. It's not a good image because it just doesn't look as deep as most of their images have looked, and even as like how their gameplay looks, right? So yes, my whole point was that none of these photos look good. Even the Canelo one, even the Bivol one, if you look at them, they all look kind of washed out. The color is not that, what I'm saying? Like it looks not as deep as their regular models, like when they're doing the ring entrance or the pictures that they've uploaded on Canelo and all that stuff. So that was my thing. My thing was not to defend this photo. So I'm hoping that people don't get confused with me explaining myself in terms, or explaining what I'm talking about and how to perceive this as me defending this specific photo. Because that is not what I was doing. This specific photo doesn't look good. And one thing that definitely got no defense from me at all is this bad boy right here. So I uploaded the video on June 12th looking at the Terrence Crawford leak. And man, was that bad. Now, I played the game during the creator build, right, with other content creators. I never saw this happen. But again, we're never going to press one button over and over. We're just not gonna. It's just not gonna compute in our minds. Like, why would we press one button over and over again. That is like the easiest thing to counter. But you give the controller to two people who have never played the game before ever, it might look, they might do that. Now, that's still no excuse. By the way, guys, that's still no excuse. It should still not look like that. But to me, it looks like, for example, the stamina isn't a thing, right?
It is 3 minutes.
Like the stamina is not being affected in any way, shape, or form here. Right? So like they're just throwing, stamina is not being affected. They're not really turning, so it's a bunch of arm punches. That needs to change. The animation has to be like, you gotta, if you're gonna throw arm punches, there still has to be some type of movement. He's just trapped there, and I guess because he's trying to track the head, he's missing, and is making his arm do like a wobble kind of thing, right? Like that, and it's like this. No, it still should not look like that. It's still, even if the stamina is at unlimited or whatever, like the creative build where the punches didn't slow down even though your stamina went down. What happened was your stamina went down and you were vulnerable to a big shot that could drop you, which is what happened. One of them was gonna fall at one point because they kept pressing that button. But it still should not look like that. It still, in my opinion, looks bad. And I think that hopefully, remember, this didn't come from ESBC because ESBC didn't put this out themselves, but that still doesn't excuse that this is their game. So we're going to have to wait and see, if they've fixed this, if they've gotten better with the animations, and if the stamina plays a more important role in stopping something from even looking like this. Because if that's the animation, there's nothing stopping two people who spam online to have a fight that would look like that. So they still got to clean that up. And that's just the truth. They still got to clean that up. Now, is that indicative of how the game feels? How, like, if you could be tactical in the game and all that stuff? No, you could be tactical. It feels like you're boxing. If you're boxing, if you want to box, you could box, right? But if you want to spam, you could spam. Like, that's just a video. That's how video games are. Is it going to be effective against somebody who just easily understands what to do against a spammer? I don't think so. But there could be moments where two people spam, and it should not look like that regardless. So this is still, to me, something that's not a good look for ESBC. But hopefully, like I said, people are looking at that and they're like, oh my God, Fight Night looks better. And I've seen people that, even content creators that I respect, like Manu Box. He did a nice side by side showing, punches being spammed in the Fight Night games. But we're comparing a game that's an alpha that's not complete yet, with a game that was complete, that like they fixed everything before they shipped it as a fully shipped, game. So here, I feel like something like that could easily, well, maybe not easily, but I feel like that could be fixed because they know if you look at this, it wasn't received well. So let's see what happens here. You should be able to throw 5 to 6 jab max. Yeah, I bet it'll come out in 2026. I hope not. What do you think about the knockdown? For me, they are not realistic, but you tested it, so you have an opinion. Yeah, I tested it. Even when we played it, the knockdowns didn't really look realistic either. Like if you hit a body shot, they will go down with their knee or whatever. But every knockdown looked like the person was out cold every time. It was like they would fall every single time. Plus, it wasn't really ready to be shown to the public yet. So it was very glitchy. It's hard to say what it will look like when it's finally complete. I don't like how it looks right now because I don't like the fact that when you get knocked down, it looks like you're out cold every single time. So I hope that gets addressed. Facts. I believe it's the physics system that allows inside fighting, making that go crazy, but still is garbage. Yeah, it's not good, bro. It's definitely not good. And I'm hoping that, that's gonna be fixed. And I think it will be because I think when they look at that, like, I don't know. There's a lot of things too, you know, like the stamina and all that stuff is not really at play yet. So I don't know. It's a tricky thing. I just personally feel that looks bad any way you slice it. That's one of those things. Any way you slice it, it looks bad, because if two people spam, it still should not look like that. But hopefully it gets fixed before, even before early access. But I don't even know. Like, I don't know how the whole early access, do they want a really like polished game that comes out in early access? Is it gonna be not as polished, but we get early access earlier? I don't know. I'm hoping that they see this and they know that they need to work on it. Are you able to block head and body manually like Fight Night Round 4? Yes, you are. You could block your head. You could also move to cover more spots. And when you move, you're blocking other parts of your body. For example, if I'm covering this spot, I'm also kind of lowering my arm here. And because of the whole physics system, like wherever your arm is matters, kind of like Boxer's Road. It will block the shot even if you're not necessarily blocking there, but your arm is there, it'll block it. And that's part of the physics system, which is twofold, because you could circumvent a person's guard. You could actually punch around their guard. One of the things that I did a lot in the creator event is I would put myself in a position where I knew they would guard, and when they guarded, right, when they put the guard up, I would punch right around their guard, and just made it feel like they shouldn't even use it. Like, I wanted them to feel insecure about the guard, right? So I would punch right around their guard, boom, 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 and I love that because it's the physics system. I mean, you could, you know, move in certain ways to circumvent what I'm doing, but it's not a force field. It's not like the older boxing games where a block is like you know, like if you're playing the 2D fighters, like if you block, you blocked. So it's a complete force field. Nothing's getting through. You know, you might get what's that? Chipping, where you're chipping at the life, but it's still like a force field block, right? This is not like that. If your glove is in the way, it will block. If your glove is not in the way, where even if you're blocking, you won't block, because it's all physics based. All right, and let's look at the final thing. And this is the best video that I found on this final thing. Excuse me. This is the video of Kenny Bayless. This is Rambling Ralph's
Kenny Bayless
Instagram.
Hey, you ready to do this thing for ESBC? We got voiceovers. All right, let's go.
So what do you feel about this, like this whole situation? Like,
Let me let them talk. So you guys can
when
see.
they called and said, "Hey, you're gonna be like the main ref in ESBC," like, what are you thinking about?
Well, I could actually say that this is probably a long-term bucket list thing for me, because no different than the Creed movies. Way back as far as Rocky, I was hoping that at one point in time that I would get to play in one of the movies.
Yeah.
And it was Creed. And now being a part of
All right. So that tells me a few things, by the way. That tells me a few things. What I see from that, right? And let's go ahead and switch. That's actually basically the wrap up for this month, right? Those are the things, or for the last month, June. What that tells me is actually, let me pull this up here. What that tells me is that there might be a moment in the game where there's that introduction part where you're there with Kenny Bayless and he's talking to you about what I say you must obey. Is that going to create a scenario where we get that beginning part of the fight, that beginning part where the fighters are in the center of the ring, there's a bunch of people there, and like the referee is holding their gloves and telling them and forcing them to touch gloves? Are we going to get something like that when the game comes out? If not, then why would he be recording those recordings? So I'm very curious to know about that, and if so, then that goes to the presentation of the game, and could it be like much more deeper? I think we might get something cool for the beginning of the fight, considering the fact that he was doing that voiceover. So that's what I got from that. But I think it's so cool how he's really into the fact that he's in Esports Boxing Club. He's really happy to be in a sports game. I think that's really nice. I think that's really, really nice. And I love it when, people of any age could understand the magnitude of what this does, even for the sport. Because if this game is popular, if this game, gains traction and has some popularity, it will 100% help the sport, because it can breed new, younger fans. And that's an important thing, especially with boxing. Boxing tends to have older people as fans, so it's kind of good to open up the doors. People like Jake Paul, love him or hate him, he's opening up the doors for younger people to have interest in the sport, So those kind of things help. And whenever you see somebody he might be an old head or something, but he gets it, like, yo, this is an important moment. Like, this matters to me. Like, this is big. It's a cool thing to see, because you just hope other fighters and other people in the industry can see it as how Kenny Bayless sees it, how important he sees it. Not if you're fighting Floyd and Kenny the ref. Oh, we got Bayless bias going on. Bayless bias talks. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be in the game now. I think makes sense. Yeah, Hashim. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't do it. I don't see, why have him record something like that if we're not gonna have that scene. So I really do think that we might have some type of beginning scene in the beginning, where they're that moment where he's forcing you out to touch gloves. He's even showing you that right here is fine, right here is we don't know. It'll be cool. It'll lend to the presentation of the game. Do you like Fury's trunks? Do you think we can change it in ESBC? I'm curious to know if we could do something like that. If we can modify the outfits of the current or the fighters that's on the roster. I know you could do that in Fight Night Champion. I'm wondering if you could do it here. But just keep in mind, guys, when it comes out for early access, it could be a bare bones game that doesn't allow us to do much. That's why I did my video on how deep was the online going to be for early access, because we don't know. It might be to the level of all you could do is you need to communicate with somebody so that they could come and play with you. Or it could be deep enough that there's a whole rank system and a leaderboard and matchmaking and stuff like that. But we just don't know. Early access is literally like this is where the game is at, and here you go kind of situation. But they could give us something special. They could make it a lot more polished than what we expect, and that's what I'm gonna hope that they do. But regardless, whatever they put out, I'm definitely gonna play it. I know for a fact it gotta be better than even what I played, and I enjoyed what I played. They are taking forever. Hey, granted, I get that. I feel like the marketing has been a little bit weird, but it's also a double-edged sword if you think about it. If they didn't say anything early on, there wouldn't be any interest. If there wasn't any interest, they wouldn't have gotten big fighters like Canelo and Terence Crawford. If they didn't get big fighters like Canelo and Terence Crawford and Lomachenko, they wouldn't be as big. And it's like a double-edged sword. They kind of had to market their game or like promote their game. but it also makes it seem like it's taking forever at the same time. But in reality, if you think about it, Kyle, they're not taking any longer than any other games. It's just that other games, they'll tell you one thing one time and they'll never come back because they kind of have an established market, right? For example, God of War, the new one, Ragnarok. They probably talked about it twice, ever. It's been taking a while. It's been taking probably as long as ESBC, since ESBC mentioned that they're going to come out. But nobody says much because when it comes out, it comes out. You know, Gotham Knights is the same thing. It's an established brand, Batman and all that stuff. When it comes out, it comes out. It's been delayed a few times. It's finally going to release in October. But, 2 years and a half of working on a game is not really that long. Normally, games take roughly around 3 to 5 years to develop. So if you really think about it, they're just in the same regular development cycle that other companies would be in, but they just talked about it a lot in the beginning. Like almost every month we were getting something, and that makes it maybe feel longer than what it actually is. Tired of playing UFC. Hey, there's a lot of people that feel like that, Official Tone. A lot of people feel like they're tired of playing UFC. But hey, I never played UFC, or I played it but not much, so I wouldn't know how that feels. But the cool thing is you can't have enough combat sports. The more, the merrier. Even if they came out with some Thai fighting combat sport, that'd be cool too. Just the more, the merrier. Combat sports is a unique, more like methodical kind of sport, and I would love to have as much as possible. I used to play, the Undisputed games and have a lot of fun with it, but yeah, the more the merrier, for sure. I say perfect the game sometime 2024. Perfect the gameplay animations. Yeah. I mean, I hope not 2024. I hope that they use the early access to perfect the gameplay animations. To say, hey, look, we're working on this. We're building this. What do you not like? How does it actually feel in your hands? What are you doing? Like to like what do you like? What do you not like? Things like that. Like I want them to work off of the feedback that they get from a big mass audience. It's cool that they brought content creators to play it, but we're just 6 people. I don't think that that's going to give them enough data and information on the entire game that they would need. Early access allows them that information and data pool, like from a mass audience, to really get into the nuts and bolts of what can make this game much better, so that when full release comes out, we get a really good game. That means they're able to work on animations. They're able to work on certain things that people don't like, certain things that people do like, to keep accentuating those and improving on those. They're able to work on the online connection, servers, things like that, how everything will match up when you're fighting other people. I think early access is going to be very important for the full release. I think it's going to be very important. And I know, like I said, I know people are kind of annoyed of it, but at least you can't look at early access as a way that, we're doing early access and we're replacing the full release. So it would have been full release, but we're going to switch that to early access. That's not how it works. If early access doesn't come out, the full release also doesn't come out, because early access, it doesn't mean that the game is ready to go. It's not. So it's either early access or nothing until full release. Early access is still better than nothing until full release, because no matter how you slice it, early access is not really going to affect the fact that full release is not ready yet. So early access at least gives you an opportunity to get your hands on it in some way, shape, or form. If your friend has a gaming PC, if somehow they allow porting to the Steam Deck and you have a Steam Deck, that's a way that you can do it. Streaming the game through NVIDIA GeForce Now, that's a way that you can get your hands on the game. So there's at least there's an opportunity to get your hands on the game, as opposed to just waiting for full release and there's no way you could play it, no way you could see it develop, nothing. I prefer the early access over having nothing, to be quite honest. I hope Team Benavidez make it into the game. Rob Unique, me too. You and me both, man. I want Benavidez in there. I did see that he was on the list, but that list was non-confirmed. So another person that was on the list was Stephen Fulton, but that is non-confirmed. So I'm hoping they get both of those guys, to be honest. And since then, Stephen Fulton has made a bigger name of himself. So they need more venues in the game. Yeah, for sure. I would love for them to have licensed venues like the MGM Grand and Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. I think that would be amazing. I need Tony Bellew in the game. I want to know if he's in the game. I'm not sure if Tony Bellew's in the game. Everybody, if anyone out there knows, put it in the chat. But I'm not sure if he's in the game, to be quite honest. I'm not sure. Oh, he's not in the game. Dill James said he's not in the game. So there you go. Do you think this game is in development hell? It just feels this game is progressing extremely slow. I don't know. I can't say for sure. The fact that they announced that they're going to come out for early access lets me know that the full release is not as close as what we were hoping. But early access is going to, we're going to be able to play. It's just going to be bare bones. We're just going to have online, maybe play with the AI, against the AI, or couch multiplayer. So in the same home, play against other people. But it's hard to tell if it's in development hell. I don't base, like a lot of people base, like if they're progressing based off of what they've released, for the month. And since nothing really came out from ESBC in June, it's like, oh, they must have slowed down. And I think that precedent has been set since the beginning because they always was giving us things. It's hard to tell from the outside, bro. It's really hard to tell from the outside because they might be grinding, working super hard internally, but we just don't know because they're not, releasing something for us to look at. Okay. I thought they should have like an era mode so you can go back and have a fight back in the day in the fields with just the ropes as a ring in like Jack Johnson days. That would be cool, actually. That would actually be pretty cool. I would love to have the back in the days kind of ring. Even if it's elevated, like Jack Johnson fought in elevated rings. He didn't fight in the dirt, like with just the dirt stuff with the stakes. But with the people wearing the white hats, everybody in the crowd, literally every single one had the top hat that was white, like the short top hat that was white. That would be cool to have that, and then have the black and white kind of camera, or that like red and white camera that they would have, like the off red looking stuff. I think that would be cool to have it. I know that they're gonna have they showed that they will have filters, camera filters. I think that would be cool, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm more into the modern boxing stuff, but that's just me. I do understand that other people, they want to see different things and want to experience different things, and I don't mind having it, and I'll definitely use it and stuff. But I'm more into like the modern stuff. But that's just me. Yo, Fanatico, we saying early access in the next few weeks? No, early access. I have my prediction on my channel. My official prediction for early access is early December, but we're gonna have to wait and see until they confirm or tell us that, hey, it's gonna be next year, and then we're gonna have to deal with that, which would suck horribly. Hashim 47, I wouldn't say development hell. Ash confirmed they've had to reset multiple times as the scope got bigger, and that's okay. Yeah, of course. If they didn't get as big as they got, we would have had the game in December of 2020. Let that sink in. If they did not get as big as they got, we would have had the game in December of 2020. But it would have been nothing compared to where they've gotten the game now. It would have been like not even maybe 5% of what we have in the game now. So it's actually pretty it's a good and a bad thing. Yeah, we didn't get our hands on it. Cool, whatever. We would have been playing it already for almost 2 years. But we wouldn't have gotten, or we wouldn't get the game that they're going to give us that's way more advanced than what we would have gotten in December. Nobody wants a first-person camera, LOL. I mean, people will probably want that. I wouldn't, because it'll be harder to judge distance like that. I think it's easier to judge distance if you're side by side. But to each his own, man. To each his own. I think that one of the best things would be to play like Thrill of the Fight VR. I think that's a really good VR boxing game. I actually have a video up playing it if you want to see how it feels, how it looks, and how it works. I have a video playing it. It's not super realistic, but it is the most realistic that I've seen in VR for boxing. Sam McKinder. Just started streaming on Twitch. We're going to run it when it drops and stream it you down. Yes, sir. Of course. Followed you from the start. Of course, Sam. We're going to be streaming this bad boy. I might mess around. And stream 5 days a week or every day. I might mess around and do that when ESBC early access drops. Playing online games. Granted, I got to make content. for YouTube as well, but on my Twitch, I'm going to be probably streaming every single day, since streaming on Twitch is not going to mess up, the algorithm or anything for my YouTube. I'll stream on Twitch, come back to YouTube and put content up on YouTube. Matches, fun things that happen during the online competitive scene, like little things like that, giving some tips and tricks, things like that. So we're going to see what's going to happen. But most likely, I'm going to be streaming a lot. when the game drops, because my Twitch, I got it up to like 3,000 something followers. Like a lot of people, have been following my Twitch streams. And when ESBC drops, which is the core of that community, man, it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna build a community on both platforms, on YouTube and on Twitch. ESBC needs the WBA belt to have all four. Oh man, please ESBC get that WBA so we can have undisputed champions. That would be super amazing. In career mode, I hope we can buy mansions and cars without winnings. Crypto King, damn bro, my man wants to have GTA ESBC. You can't see the fight the right way. LOL. I'll check it out. Yeah. I don't know what. Oh yeah. You can't see the fight. Yeah. Exactly. Like you kind of want that third person thing it kind of helps you with distance control and stuff like that. We got 10 more minutes, guys. We got 10 more minutes here, so we're gonna keep on answering questions, talking. It would be nice to have an event mode like UFC 4. I don't know what event mode is. I haven't played UFC 4 like that to know what event mode is, but just let me know what event mode is so that I could have an understanding of that. Would like to see Golden Gloves and Olympic boxing in career mode. Yes, 100%. Same. Think it's possible for a full release by March or April 2023. March or April. Yeah. Wait, full release? Yeah, it's possible. I think as they said in their roundtable, the full release will be dictated by the experiences and what happens during the early access process. If there's a lot of things they got to fix, if they're really behind on so many things, then full release might get pushed back a little bit. If they're not, if they've noticed that they're kind of on the right path and everything's smoother, then it'll be quicker to get a full release. But it's really all going to depend on what happens during the early access process, the feedback that they get, and what it takes to make sure that game is as sharp as possible for full release. Are they done signing fighters and having reveals? I hope not. I want more fighter reveals. I want a fighter reveal show again. because that they just stopped that cold turkey. And we've gotten some reveals here and there, but they stopped like the whole fighter reveal stuff, which I'm not really a fan of the fact that they stopped it. Granted, at the time, people were annoyed by it. They wanted just gameplay. They didn't want no more fighter reveals. But now it's like, you know, you don't know how much you miss something until it's gone. And now we want the fighter reveals back because we want to know who else are they getting. Have they gotten anybody new, anybody explosive, you know, like a Tank Davis, you know, one of those kind of things. I was really looking forward to Gervonta Davis, Haney, Rowley, Keith, Hunter. Yeah, I want Jerron Boots Ennis in the game too. Jerron Boots Ennis will be great. That'd be great to have. Any new opinions on ESBC? New opinions? I don't like the stuff that we've recently seen. I don't really like the spamming stuff that I saw. I don't like how the punches look during that. Like I said, I've played at the creator event and the punches never look like that. But at the same time, we never did that because it would be too easy to counter. Like no one would ever just want to throw one punch over and over because then the other person would just move back or slip and hit him with a counter. So it's one of those things where just because we didn't see it during the creator event doesn't mean that it's not there. And if you can do that, the punches still shouldn't look like that. So hopefully they fix that. Hopefully they fix all of that stuff so it doesn't look like that when the full game comes out. Southpaw Boxing Media just jumped in the chat, brother. Do we have a concrete date for early access? Unfortunately, we do not. We do not have a concrete date yet for early access, so we're still waiting. We're still waiting. I hope that when they reveal the early access, it's like at the end of a trailer. I think that I've been saying this since forever. If you put the date at the end of the trailer, the amount of hype and pop that you will get is going to be crazy because all the content creators are going to be surprised by it when they're watching it. And then that's also going to create this crazy like reaction to the release date, because if we're looking at it and we're like, oh man, this is so amazing, what we just saw was so good, and then all of a sudden boom, they hit it with a release date, it's like mind-blowing because we just went from one excitement and it leveled up immediately from there. So I think they should definitely put it at the end of a trailer. That's the best way to reveal it. Don't just post it on Twitter. Don't just say, oh, guys, we've come to the decision that it's going to release on this day. That would be like, okay, cool, we got it. That's nice and super happy. We're good. But it was so anticlimactic the way you delivered it. So I hope that they they deliver it in a better way. Who's on your hit list? I don't have a hit list. I want to play all the content creators again, of course. That's pretty much it. I don't have a hit list. I want to play people like Marshall Mann, of course. I want to play against people like Prioxis. I want to play against all the people that are really good in the UFC games too. The people that just went to the UFC Las Vegas, I want to play against them in ESBC. I want to play against Malky Pablo in ESBC. I want to play against Fight Night's Finest in ESBC. So there's people that I have I'm very curious to play. I also want to play Aimbot, who's one of the developers for the game ESBC. We played in Fight Night Champion. And we played in Fight Night Round 3. I beat him in both. So I want to level the playing field and let him play the game that he's been developing. And so we can play against each other. I think that would be a fun thing to do. That's actually the match that's tentative right now. As soon as early access comes out, it's going to be as soon as me and Aimbot get that match in to complete that 3. We were playing Fight Night Champion, Fight Night Round 3, and it's going to be ESBC to complete the three matches. Oh, and Jay Shep, of course. Jay Shep, we at least got a spar. I'm trying to see how you think. Jay Shep as well. Trying to play Jay Shep, trying to play Dark Side, who's another good player when it comes to these boxing games. So there's people that pique my interest, but I don't got a hit list, to be honest. Box Fanatico, have you seen the Kung Fu Games Shaolin versus Wu-Tang? I've played it. I've actually played it. It has Bruce Lee and Jet Li in it. It doesn't have Bruce Lee and Jet Li. It has the knock. It's like it is Bruce Lee and it is Jet Li, but it ain't. They're not saying that it's Bruce Lee and it's Jet. Like they probably don't have the license for those guys, but it's like for a fact that that's who they are. I know it's off topic. ESBC, what was your reaction to Tank versus Rolly fight? Tank, I thought it was a cool fight. I thought it was a really awesome fight. I thought Rolly did way better than people expected. And then, of course, it had a really nice knockout at the end. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was really, really cool. Would love to have an outdoor venue in ESBC. Yes, that'll be nice. Having an outdoor venue on that would be very, very good. It would be very, very good. Which storyline in career would you love to see? Which storyline in career would I love to see? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't understand that question. Which storyline? Like, what do you mean? I don't really want a storyline in my career mode. I want my career mode to just be straightforward. I'm just doing everything that I need to do to win the titles. I just want it to be a straightforward thing where I'm doing the stuff that a fighter has to do. It's not really a story, but it's just my like what I like eating and and making weight and doing all these things and training and sparring, like just what the fighter does. More like a fighter lifestyle as opposed to a storyline. Did I get a haircut? Yeah, I mean I got a shape up and everything. I didn't cut my hair though. My hair is just in a ponytail. My hair, I didn't cut my hair down. No, I did not do that. I was going for Rolly. You were going for Rolly? I mean, it would have been interesting if he would have won, to be honest. If Rolly would have won, it would have been interesting. I'm going to be like Canelo with 70 fights, LOL. Bro, I'm going to be playing that game like crazy, man. You're going to have to try to catch up to how many fights I'm going to have under my belt, man. You're going to have to catch up to how many fights I'm going to have under my belt. All right, so we're closing in on the end of this, at the end of this stream. I hope I can juice like Canelo. Man, you guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. Can we use Canelo versus Joe Smith Jr. in ESBC, you think? Yeah. Canelo and Joe Smith Jr., I believe, are in the game. So you would be able to have that fight if you wanted to. But guys, we're closing in on the end of this stream. Hood plays. He's like, no. Yeah, but guys, it's just an hour. But of course, every month is the monthly wrap up. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it on the first of this month like I normally do it, but it's always on the first. I was out of town for work, but next month, barring any kind of weird situation, is probably going to be the first of the month as well. And we're going to talk about what happens in July. Now, normally July is a big month for ESBC. It was a big month when they revealed. There was a trailer that came out even in 2020 in July, which was not like well received. It was like a horrible like render of fighters and the way they looked and the punch animations looked horrible, but they said it wasn't representative of their game, which like fast forward in November and we saw the Alpha Movement trailer and we were like, yeah, you're right. It wasn't represented. This is much better than that. And then, we moved forward. July had the July of last year had the infamous July trailer of 2021, which showed Lyndon Arthur versus Lawrence Okoli, and that the whole thing with that, and they were showing the weave and everything, and blocking and punching, and it was very, 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 very insightful. It was basically them talking about how to play the game, all the buttons, what you need to press, and everything like that. So pretty cool. I'm hoping and praying, especially after this rough and arguably the roughest month for ESBC, in my opinion. After this rough month, they're gonna get something nice, or put out something nice in July for us to see, and hopefully is a trailer. Hopefully is a whole trailer. Would you ever play Esports Boxing Club with Marshall Mont? 100%, 100%, definitely. That's on my list of who to play against when the game drops for early access. That's on my list. Take it easy, Fanatico, and peace, everyone. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Rob Unique. One of the day ones right here, Rob Unique. One of the day ones for sure. Or also taking like a Loma path in my career. Yeah, man, whatever, I want just a career where you control it. That's it. I just want a career where you're the one that controls everything and you can do what you need to do to be undisputed, which is what my goal would be. And I'm hoping they get that WBA belt so we can pull that off without it having to be like a fake belt. Because we have the other ones, WBO, IBF, WBC. We get the WBA, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Will fighters be able to move to different weight classes? We don't know yet. And also, career mode won't be in the early access. Career mode won't make it into early access. It will be in early access. Probably it will be updated into it throughout the time that early access is out, but it won't be in early access when early access releases. The only thing that's early access is going to have, from my understanding, is online fighting the AI and one-on-one couch multiplayer. That's it. If there's no age cap in career mode, I'm fighting until I'm 7. Oh man, that I hope it's like Boxer's Road 2, where you get old and you actually see your character get old. I think that would be cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was the monthly wrap up for June. We will be back again live doing the monthly wrap ups. I was gone for a little bit, but I will be back also making videos for ESBC. Hopefully they give me some content to make videos for. You guys know I don't like just making content just to make content. I'm hoping they give us something good. They give us something that, that's meaty that we could do, make videos for, so the community could get a little bit more excited after this really low June, really monotone month. All right, guys, take it easy. A Smooth, I'm gonna see you, brother. Until the next one, gentlemen. Let me go ahead and close this here. Where is the? Oh, here we go. All right, guys, peace out.